Hey, how's it going? If you're watching this right now, you hopefully just got some notification about a channel that maybe you didn't recognize, and you're trying to figure out what is this. Well, you did subscribe to this channel. Formerly, I was calling it Skeptic Spin. That name originally came out of just needing a new name and a rebrand uh, at a time where I was in a hurry. Um, and I decided to rebrand and change again. And this time, just call the channel something simple, all encompassing kind of umbrella title for the channel. And then I'll just do whatever it is I want to do. And since it's about what I want to do, I just used my name. And to make it more fun and memorable, I made a pun out of it. So it's time. And I want everyone to say it with me for this just in. Now, today I'm kicking off a new series called Reading from Right to Left. The series is going to be me reading books, most likely like propaganda or misinformation style books. Today in particular, this book is like a children's book, which makes it a little bit more shocking. And I can't do it alone, right? So I'll be reading the book, and what I've done is, as usual, I've manipulated a bunch of innocent YouTube content creators to join me on a panel and react to the text that I'm about to read. So before we jump into the video, I want to address my panelists in advance. Um, I want to let you guys know that I'm so eternally grateful for the time that you're giving me on this panel to react to this terrible, terrible book. You're all, in my eyes, successful YouTubers. So for you to reach back is no small thing. I appreciate you. I'm grateful for your time and your effort in creating this video with me. And I hope someday that I'll be big enough that I'll be able to pay it forward and reach back to a smaller channel and help elevate them as well. So I'm going to do my best to not let you guys down. I'm going to try to continue to produce content, hopefully more frequently. And yeah, so thank you very much because your time is valuable. And I'm very grateful for that. So with that, for all of you else, everyone else watching, if you want to help me thank these panelists, make sure that you, well, like and subscribe to me, but also go into the description, locate their channels. And if you haven't subscribed to them yet, do so, please. Because I wouldn't bring anybody on this panel who I wouldn't listen to or subscribe to. So, if you think I'm cool or fun or funny or entertaining by any measure, they're way more interesting than I am. All right. But on that note, also, please share this video. If you think you know someone who might be interested in the content we're going to cover today, click the little share button and spread it around. That would be really, really helpful. Last but not least, just a little bit about myself. I'm a nostalgia nut. I just recently have come to terms with I'm addicted with things from my childhood. And you know what? I don't care. I love it and I'm okay with it. What I want to do going forward is I want to share my love for things that I consider nostalgic, right? When I was a kid, sitting on the floor in front of the oversized 20-inch TV made of wood, what was I up to back then? What was I watching? So I like the idea of ending a video with something fun or interesting or entertaining. I don't want audience members to leave my video dwelling on what is generally like real downer like content, right? Like, sure, we're interested in engaging in the conversation, exploring the ideas, or just debunking the information. But that takes a toll on everybody, psychologically speaking. So I want to end every video with something fun, upbeat, and maybe even a little bit like, holy shit, I forgot about that, or I remember that when I was a kid. So stay tuned for the end of the video if you want to share a moment of nostalgia with me and everyone else. Um, I won't tell you what it's going to be. You'll have to stick around to find out, but also stick around at the end of the video for a preview, a sneak peek of the next video that I've got coming out. That's right. I've already got it recorded in the can, and I'm currently editing it. So there is more content coming next month. So stay tuned for that. And with that, let's start this new series. Reading from the right to the left. Here it is. It's just in. All right. So reading from right to left. This is a conservative right-wing book, and my left-leaning friends here. I should probably just do a proper introduction too, since I'm now recording here, and I'll ask you guys to just wave at the camera as I go by. So, from Mark Reed Atheism YouTube, my really close friend Mark Reed, the godless engineer himself, John Gleason, Trevor Pullman from the ever popular Believe It or Not YouTube, and our newest and favorite guest, Heidi from Hail Heidi. Thank you, all of you, for joining me while I torture you and read this conservative propaganda children's book. Children's books are normally about communicating a positive, proper message.
No, I had a lot of Bible-based children's books when I was a kid. And like, if you think about Noah's Ark, that's not really like a friendly little story. But here we are, like, oh, this is where all the children died, and
the entire world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Heidi not long ago did a video about someone reading a Noah's Ark children's book, right?
It's actually a hilarious story when you like really dig into it. It's absolutely bizarre.
Yeah.
Good times.
Justin, actually, I think that I need to try to get you Ken Ham's book.
Oh no!
What is it? Dinosaurs of Eden. No, it's Dinosaurs of Eden. Like it's a kid's book that's supposed to teach them about the creation story, and like they have it's you can find like images of it online, but it's like got a cartoon T-Rex, and it's like this guy ate apples, and it's just so ridiculous to look at. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if the series goes well, I definitely want to do more. So let's get to our book. So like I said, I'm going to ask you guys to try to invent or come up with your own title for this book when we get to the end of it. Bongo loved food. In particular, Bongo loved cupcakes, which is why he lived in Mushroom Village. Every night, Bongo and the other villagers sat around the rockin', rolling river, eating delicious mushroom-shaped cupcakes with loads of red and blue and green icing. But one night, the picnic went terribly wrong.
Do you think they have an exclusively cupcake diet, or are there other things like cupcakes are a treat, but they have other foods they enjoy as well, or is it just they're eating cupcakes?
That's a good question. I sincerely doubt the weight of all of these characters on the screen right now. If like the favorite pastime is eating cupcakes, I sincerely doubt they would have the high metabolism that would be required to like, just basically have cupcakes not add 10 pounds to your ass every time you ate one. Maybe that's just because I'm 40. I don't know.
It's a fair comment, though.
Yeah. Very, very important point.
I found it interesting that the line with loads of red and blue and green icing, reading it to me, I almost wanted to just be like, did they not miss an opportunity to be like, red and blue and white icing, like the whole red, white, and blue? Could they have not Americanized this?
Yeah, I totally think they should have done. We love to eat our red, white, and blue USA flag cupcakes every day and praise Christ. Like I feel like that.
Put our hands over our hearts. And oh dear.
A hungry hyena sprang into the riverbank, waving a coconut cannon. Bongo's best friend, Bonnie, squealed, "The hyenas are here for our cupcake dinners." The hyena, quick as a flash, grabbed her picnic basket full of sweets.
Okay, well, it's nice to know that the American food system is way better than the mushroom villages. Like I feel like I'm sorry, cupcakes are not a dinner. Okay, they're not a dinner.
Mhm.
All right, they're just not.
This hyena's just trying to protect their health, really. That's
Yeah.
probably it.
Maybe.
It just saved them from 3,000 calories.
Yeah. Hyena's the good guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tired of this anti-hyena agenda.
Yeah.
Maybe the hyena's just from the Food Administration.
Yeah.
You know what I just
I'll-
noticed? The one healthy food in town they use as a weapon.
That
That's
is
kinda funny.
true.
Wonder what RFK thinks of this.
Yeah. Oh gosh. It's interesting just the phrasing of waving a coconut cannon, just I don't know. I didn't catch that the first time,
Yeah,
but it
right.
definitely kind of points out that like this is the first issue of this situation, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
I do have to criticize the hyena for how he's holding the cannon there. I mean, if he
Yeah.
were to fire the cannon and it fires like a potato gun, then that he does not have any control over it or anything. He's just
True.
got poor form.
Yeah,
Sorry.
everyone knows you
Is
can't
it-
hip fire a coconut cannon. Everyone knows that.
It'll just fly out of your hands. Like,
Yeah, no, I
I
gotcha.
mean, you got to brace yourself for it. Otherwise, you're just, you're setting yourself up for failure there. But anyways, I'd be surprised if he could hit anybody with that cannon, to be honest.
Bongo chased the hyena in circles and squares, but chabam! Bongo and Bonnie landed flat on their bums with bulbous bumps growing on their heads. Before they could count to 5, the hyena was halfway home to the deserted desert. Hyenas were the only bad thing about living in Mushroom Village. They were lazy and didn't like cooking, so they roamed around looking for sweet meals to steal.
I wonder how many conservative parents are like upset with the use of the word bums there. Like they would use this book except for that graphic language.
Huh.
Is bums really that graphic?
I don't know. I mean, I've heard kids get yelled at for saying crap, so
True.
It's the kind of language that a conservative would think is really racy, so that
Yeah.
they would be saying it like, "Ooh," to their kids, like we're being really naughty by saying this. Yeah, okay.
Scene probably calls for the vulgarity too, right? We're trying to set a scene of like the enemy has escaped and they've been robbed of their precious treat. So in order to emphasize the harshness of the scenario, strong language like bum is probably called for.
I might be overthinking this, but I feel there's a socioeconomic side that nobody's looking at here. Like, they don't like cooking, but does the deserted desert have any flour to make wheat? Wheat to make flour, sorry, or have any kind of cane sugar or anything that they can make cupcakes out of? Maybe they're disadvantaged by living in the desert.
true.
Maybe these are the
Yeah.
assholes that refuse to share their flour. I don't know. Like,
Also, how do
the
you
hy-
make a coconut cannon in the desert? Which means these coconut cannons are coming from somewhere.
Probably stole that first.
Yeah,
Probably.
I
With
feel
all
like
of this
the hy-
thievery going on, they're not very lazy then, are they?
I think the hyenas are probably the victims of like redlining and redistricting and gerrymandering. So I mean, I feel like this is a very targeted minority, like marginalized group here.
Yeah.
Without it being overly obvious and too dog whistly, I think they chose hyena for that.
Yeah.
The thing that concerns me the most, as far as pointing me in that direction, is when it describes them as being lazy. And everything like that is a very common dog whistle in like racist circles, especially here in America. So
Yeah.
I'm more
That's true.
offended by the word lazy than I am the word bum, that's for sure.
I've talked on my channel a number of times about how laziness isn't a thing, like how we just label so many different things as laziness that there's not really a definition of lazy because it's just like an excuse people like, it's just a way to dismiss people for like, could be ADHD, could be like they're working hard on something else, but you want them to do this thing, so you call them lazy. There's like 1,000 things before actually being lazy.
And mental health issues like
Yeah,
depression and
exactly.
all kinds of stuff. And sometimes people just aren't motivated. But I don't. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. They're obviously not that lazy. They just carried out a comprehensive like thievery scheme.
Yeah.
Heist involving coconut cannons.
It wasn't Ocean's 11 level, but it was still a heist.
Well,
you're not going to call Danny Ocean lazy, right? Like,
well, it was more than these shroomers did today, you know.
Exactly. They're the ones sitting around eating cupcakes.
Yeah,
they just ran all the way to and from the deserted desert. Like that's not laziness.
They only do leg day.
Unlike Banjo.
Right away, the leader of the town called a meeting. Poor Bongo and Bonnie, we must find a way to stop all this violence. Bonnie spoke up. We should make a rule and write a big sign. No one can bring coconut cannons into Mushroom Village. Then we'll be safe. Right on, said half the village. Not groovy, said the other half.
I feel the coconut bandle is a dead giveaway, right? Like that's sort of a dead giveaway that someone's got a coconut cannon when you have the ammunition strapped on every single square corner of their body.
But it's also a snack.
Oh, well, that is
not
true.
in Mushroom Village.
True.
Yeah, that's true. Who's eating coconuts in Mushroom Village? That sounds really awful.
Exactly.
It sounds like...
That is true. The hyenas are using food to steal food because they don't have any food.
Yeah.
This is a good book.
Well thought out.
But just posting a law or making something law, it doesn't end there. Like no one is saying that if we just say this is a rule, that it's just everyone's gonna follow that rule. You have to enforce rules, right? So you can't just put a sign that says no coconut cannons. You got to have someone at the door checking for coconut cannons.
You gentlemen will have to check your firearms if you want to join in on the festivities.
Who's gonna make us tenderfoot? You?
I am.
I feel like they're going to have like coconut cannon drills, like everyone have drills so everyone just grabs the cupcakes and runs.
Also notice the mole man in the back with the peace signs on his guitar.
Oh yeah, you've definitely got like the lefty hippies and then the more put together conservatives. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not an accident that the sloth is a lefty.
Oh, sloth! Yeah, it's not a mole man.
Man.
And then everybody noticed the centrist in the very center. That's a chameleon because he can blend in with both sides.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
You also, now that you brought up that centrist too. Oh my God! Next page, you can very clearly tell he's wearing a blue jacket and a red tie.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Interesting.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Because the most famous red tie I can think of would not be standing in the middle of these people. He would definitely be on the side.
Well, he wouldn't be wearing a blue suit either.
If you tell me that Trump lives in a mushroom village and eats nothing but cupcakes, I would probably believe that.
You can just tell that chameleon is probably yelling to both sides, like, listen, there's very fine people on both sides of this issue.
Well, let's see what this page is saying here. Coconut cannons are how we protect ourselves. Bongo rubbed his head. We should keep our cannons close in case the hyenas come back. Silly, Bongo, Bonnie said. If you disagree with us, we'll have to split Mushroom Village in half, and it'll be your fault.
Cancel culture.
It'll be your fault. Then we know who's really safe.
I just feel like Mushroom Civil War is brewing. It's just,
Well, yeah. So, like, I feel like teaching kids this very dichotomous kind of thinking, like very black and white thinking. It's like either you're with us or you're just, you're so beyond the pale that you've got to be excluded from society. Like that kind of in-group, out-grouping kind of thing is remnant of the high control cults that we're all familiar with. But I mean, seeing it in this kind of socio-political aspect shows that, for me at least, that that kind of bridges the gap between the socio-political sort of environment and this high control cult. I would think this would be one part where the Venn diagram overlaps.
Yeah, it's hard when human beings are so tribalistic that sometimes it's hard for people to even talk to or listen to somebody who has a differing opinion. And it's so frustrating because sometimes I do feel like that chameleon in the middle where I'm just like, bruh, can we just like talk about it? Like, it can get so intense. I don't know if this is like this book kind of dividing the two parties and this is kind of where it happens or something, but very, very interesting.
Oh, I was going to make a Nostradamus prediction for this book. And I hope I don't spoil it, but my guess is that they're going to split the Mushroom Town up into two different parts. The far side is going to be the conservative side that keeps their coconut cannons, and they're going to fight off the hyenas, while the left side over here is going to get attacked by them. And then the right side has to come in and save them. And then at the end, they're all like, we should all have coconut cannons.
Right. Should have listened.
Do you guys agree with that, Nostradamus?
I do. Yeah, I agree with Nostradamus over here. Absolutely. But I think that the whole point is that when you're talking about gun control, you're talking about, sorry, coconut cannon control. I'm sorry. You're really talking about the same people is under the same laws, right? So in this case, it's kind of like an external threat is coming in with their own weapons, which would be a foreign entity. You know, if you're talking about one country, they would all be under the same laws. So you'd be taking coconut cannons away from everybody. So it's not analogous to the situation. And sort of saying, hey, well, we're going to just take them away from us is sort of a misunderstanding of how a law is applied. And it's kind of like, well, you know, obviously those people aren't under your jurisdiction. You have no control over them whatsoever, in which case they're a foreign entity attacking you with coconut cannons rather than, you know, you are restricting coconut cannon access to them. So it's not analogous to the situation.
No.
But, you know, nuance is a thing that's ignored by the conservatives a lot of the time.
Next page. Arguing back and forth and back, the village split down the middle. On the west side, the villagers put all the cannons away. Bonnie smiled as she threw hers into the river, but Bongo knew it was a mistake. Singing a deep sigh, Bongo packed up all his cannons and pushed them across the river to the east. How many cannons does he have?
I know, I was going to say, I love it's all his cannons.
No cannons were left
Not
behind.
inaccurate.
You know, this makes me think Bongo is one of those people that would do like the family photos and they'd lay out their entire arsenal on their back patio and, you know, stand there with it like, yeah, I'm not insecure.
Or have his coconut cannon in one hand, and the Bible in the other, or whatever Bongo's the 8 Bible is.
Yeah.
Can I also point out that, like, we're not, like, coconut cannons give you a bump on the head. What they're not telling the children is that these coconut cannons will completely dome the hyenas. You know, like, can we just, for a second, realize that you're really talking about a lethal weapon, not a, you know, oh, it's a coconut cannon. Exactly. Yeah.
This next page only has one sentence. And yet, the amount of symbolism in it is unreal.
Let me. Okay.
Then Bonnie's side tore down the bridge and made signs.
Why tear down the bridge?
Right? John, I believe you were going to try to guess what it was going to say. I'm curious, what were you going to guess?
Oh, it definitely was not this, but this makes sense as far as the story goes. I was gonna be like, and then the conservative side, you know, suffered a mass shooting or something like that from like a crazed individual. That would be too on the nose though for like reality. This is perfectly like absent of any kind of like reality here. So this makes sense.
The book's not over yet.
I also found it interesting how they, in that one sentence, though, the amount of stuff we can unpack, right? Bonnie side tore down the bridge, right? Like, it wasn't a mutually agreed upon, like, let's get rid of this bridge. Even the picture shows only the west side of the bridge torn down.
Oh, it's kind of showing like that this is the side that isolated the other side. This is the side that decided to distance themselves and separate. and we're the innocent ones who would have like we're trying to work with them or whatever. That's that's
Our
a
half
good
of the
point.
bridge is still there if you want to rebuild and come on over.
Right. We're
Yeah.
still being civil and cooperative, but they're interesting.
I feel like it would have been a bit more. It would have a more symbolism or more imagery. If it was like, and Bonnie's side burned the bridge to the ground, and it was like,
I mean, true.
it was like Bonnie standing there, like in the flames and everything, with like a lighter or something, and it's just got this evil look on her face and everything. Like, I felt like that would have been a better image here, but maybe that's too violent for children. I don't know. I had a different kind of childhood.
What would they make the signs out of? Perfectly usable mushroom wood that's everywhere. I mean, come on, they had to get the wood from somewhere.
Oh, I mean,
kind of like
you
that
know
idea.
what? I didn't catch that they used the wood from the bridge. It wasn't just like, oh, we're separating ourselves. It's like, oh, we need to make signs. Let's use the wood.
I think that's
I
a
think it's a-
fantastic image here. Yeah, that they tore the bridge down and wrote signs out of it. Like, just
Yeah.
Well, I think the imagery is misspending resources for the wrong cause, kind of thing. Like, you're tearing down your logistics to make a sort of, a moral cause. It's like, oh, it's silly moral people there.
Silly moral people.
that sheepdog right there with the beer tied up and the dashiki and or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Oh,
He's totally high right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's not even doing anything. He's just there.
He's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
The next morning, Bonnie and the animals on the west ate their cupcake breakfast without fear. The signs will protect us, Bonnie said. On the east bank, Bongo strapped extra coconuts to his chest, just in case. And it was a good thing, too. Just as he was about to bite into his green and purple breakfast cupcake, a watchdog howled. Hyenas on the horizon.
Yep.
Wait, they've got a watchdog? Why don't they give him the coconut cannons?
Yeah.
They've got a professional watchdog who they don't give coconut cannons, and all he does is yell about it, while every single person carts around a coke. Okay, this is. Yep.
Also, like, how crazy is it that like the Rambo Bongo over there has 2 cannons on his back, 2 bandoliers of coconuts? Like, is that really like living in peace? Is that like really? I feel like that would be so stressful to have to like do that all. And mind you, I live in North Alabama. And I used to have friends that legit would wear 3 guns on them to go to fucking Walmart.
Wow.
So like I've known people exactly like that.
Wow.
Well, I feel that the animals on the left, who are all chill, playing guitar, singing, having conversations and stuff, and then on the right, they're just like furiously eating cupcakes and like holding like they seem like they're just paranoid. Like they're just ready to jump into action at any point. I'd rather
the
hang out with
watchdog is
chill animals.
pictured there, and he's definitely being paranoid. And all the faces on the right side are definitely like shocked and terrified and in constant vigilance. Where the left side, they look happy to me.
And it really shows. Oh, sorry. It really shows too their like that view that conservatives have about violence happens from others. It's always others coming in. They don't think about the fact that like so many school shootings, like pretty much all of them, are like white dudes, and they don't think about the fact that so many shooters are conservative. It's always painted as these others coming in, and you have to defend yourself against the others, and never. It's usually just us.
Yeah.
Someone has a real bad day.
Yeah.
And Bonnie's line here is a little triggering as well. The signs will protect us.
Yeah.
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 If you can't read the sign, Tannen, I presume you can read this.
It's just making them look just really dumb and like they're not thinking about it. And
this next page is horizontal here. Bonnie just glanced at the hyenas and shrugged. They can't bring their cannons to our side, she said. Bongo jumped up and gripped his cannon. They've come for breakfast.
Sorry, gripped
I thought
his
it was
cannon
dinner.
is really funny.
There's so much
Here's-
innuendo there.
Here's
Yeah.
how it look. They've come for breakfast.
They've come
It's
for
such a
breakfast.
Schwarzenegger line.
I need an explosion in the background.
Yeah.
I'm here to eat cupcakes and kick ass. And I'm all out of cupcakes.
Exactly.
And again, Bonnie's like, they're really portraying Bonnie's side as being like completely ridiculous, right? Like, well, they can't come to our side because cannons aren't allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, also, you forgot you tore the bridge down, so I wonder how they're going to get across anyway.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah.
I feel like they're not going to be able to get across to rescue them. So, you know, they're going to, you know, the peaceful side is going to get attacked and they can't get across the bridge because you tore the bridge down. It's all your fault. We can't help you. Silly liberals.
Keep in mind that this is coming from the political side of the spectrum that thinks that putting silhouettes of men and women on bathroom doors is going to prevent, you know, people of a gender that doesn't identify with the silhouette on the door from going in there.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
So true. Well
Really?
said.
What? Seriously?
Well, yeah. So, like, you know, it's the whole bathroom stuff. They want to pass bathroom bills to force trans people to use the restroom that for the sex that they were born with, right? And so they want to force them to do that. But like, they're sitting there like, well, we're gonna have, you know, trans women going into the women's restroom, and of course they portray trans women as just men. So it's like, oh, men will just dress up as women to go into the restroom. It's like, I'm sorry, the silhouette on the door is not going to prevent a man from, you know, going in there. They don't have to dress up as women. They just go in there. But this is so this book is presenting the crowd that thinks that a sign will stop somebody as, you know, shitting on a side that thinks a sign is going to stop somebody. It's just, it's kind of a, maybe, I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but like, it's kind of a weird situation.
I totally get what you're saying. Where no one is trying to say that a sign or putting some rule into law ends there and that everyone's going to conform. Every rule in law needs to be, I don't know if policed is the right word.
Back. Just like you, Tannen, I take every advantage I can get. Now, you gonna check your iron? I was just joking with you, deputy.
You know, somebody needs to be in charge of enforcing the law, And as far as like bathroom laws go, who's going to enforce that? They're not going to have bathroom attendants look under everyone's, you know, down their pants. Like that's just not a thing someone's going to do.
I can just imagine some old ass conservative being like, "What's in your pants?" before you go to the restroom. Like, I mean, it's just so weird.
Yeah.
And they're the normal ones.
Exactly.
Chaboom went the hyena's coconut. Chabash went Bongo's cannons. Never bend the knee. In 5 seconds flat, Bongo and his buddies have given all the hyenas their own bulbous bumps. And quick as a flash, they scrambled away.
I feel like you just need a snake in the background yelling, "Don't tread on me."
Yeah.
That's really...
I'm laughing at the never bend the knee.
Yeah.
Never bend
Like,
the knee.
when was this written? Because they've bent the knee and licked the asshole of Trump. So I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
So interestingly enough, because I was curious myself as we were reading and I was listening to you guys talk. This was published in 2021. Okay. But what I found most interesting here as well is that I'll let you guys know at this point, this is part of Kirk Cameron's publishing company.
It is.
So it is a Brave book. It's part of the original 6 saga that they've published or whatever. But what concerned me was in the opening page, it says printed in Canada.
Oh, no.
Oh, yuck. I feel like this would be something from the National Coconut Association.
Yeah.
You know, like really, it's...
Yeah. It's funny, too, that he was so mad that they wouldn't let him read this to children in libraries. Because, of course, they wouldn't let...
No.
Yeah.
It's a violent book.
But they didn't run back to the deserted desert. The hyenas leapt across the river to the west side of the village, and Bonnie gasped, "They broke the rule! The sign specifically says they can't bring their cannons." Chaboing, chabonk went the cannons. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Michael
right?
Scott, like, when he said, "You cheated on me when I specifically told you not to."
You cheated on me? When I specifically asked you not to?
Yeah. Yeah.
Before long, the hyenas had taken all of the cupcake breakfast on the whole west side of Mushroom Village, and not a single animal was left without a coconut-shaped bump.
You know,
Everyone
I
must
can
get
only
wow.
assume I can only assume their blood sugar levels are just skyrocketing all the
Yeah.
time. Like if they're having it like breakfast and dinner, and they're probably eating it for lunch too. Like they're just constantly shoving sugar into their gullets. I don't know. That bothers me. I'm sorry.
It is a stand-in for America.
It is.
It is.
You know, the opportunity missed here for just having it be called like Cupcake Village or Icing Hill or like, but no, we get Mushroom Village. Like, why? Mushroom Village has no relevance to this world at all. After the hyenas fled, Bongo stood, biting his nails. What if the hyenas hurt Bonnie? But the sign was still standing, and the rule was in place: no coconut cannons on the west side of the village. Slowly, Bongo set down his cannon. Swiftly, he swam across the river. Silently, he crept through the crumbling town.
If all of the like east side animals are in a concentration camp, I'm out. Like seriously,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
We're rage quitting. We're all rage quitting.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh man.
The fact that they had to mention that the signs were still up, so Bongo can't bring his cannon over, it's kind of like, well, no one is saying that either, right? Like, I think we would all agree if there's danger where special trained individuals are hopefully going to come to try to rescue or relieve any situation, we want them coming armed, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you learn to shoot like that?
7-Eleven.
Of course.
Yeah.
Also, there's videos of Americans crossing the border into Canada and being told they can't bring their gun with them and just being like, "No, I have a permit." Like they
Oh my.
like not understanding that you can't, the permit doesn't apply to a different country.
Right.
So
Is there any alcohol or tobacco with you folks?
No,
No? How many guns?
none.
Doesn't everybody from Arizona carry guns, just like Texas?
Oh, that's not surprising.
but like
Okay.
we do have a lot of guns here too, because like my family just did their annual camping trip, their gun one this past week, so that we do two. One's the gun-free one, and then the one they did last week was the gun camping trip, where everybody just brings their guns and they shoot at things all weekend. Like that's the
Sounds fun.
yeah.
That's fun.
Technically, per person, Canada has more guns than America.
Yeah.
Technically.
But that's what this
Oh.
book is missing, is the nuance, because we have guns in Australia. It's just that you need to register, do firearms training, and go through the process of owning a gun and knowing that you're a responsible gun owner. There's certain things that disqualify you, like a history of mental illness and a criminal history kind of thing. No one's saying, hey, we're going to toss all the guns away and put up signs saying don't bring guns and not have any of the servicemen armed, and nobody's armed. That's not the way that it works. So this is just a ridiculous parody of what, you know, the left is actually saying, that, hey, it might be a good idea if you have to do more to get a gun license than you do to get a car license. Just saying.
Does anybody on this panel own a gun?
No.
No.
I don't.
Not anymore. I used to.
Interesting.
But I mean, like, I literally, so I grew up pretty conservative, and so like I had a bunch of conservative friends. Like I said, I had one friend that had multiple guns on him at any one time, and so like being around that kind of culture, like I grew up, and I bought guns and I had guns and everything, and it, you know, it wasn't until I started to become a lot more left leaning in my politics that I was like, you know, I don't really need a gun, and it could really just only hurt somebody like in the house. And so I eventually got rid of my guns because I literally do not need. There's not been one situation where I'm like, you know, I really need a gun here. Like that's never been like a natural thing. Like that's how I'm gonna solve this problem. Fucking shoot them, kind of thing. So, but I was gonna say, I think Trevor was talking about the person from America coming over the border and being like, "Oh, I've got a pass."
Yeah,
and I'm just in my head, this is how that played out. He basically would just look at the border agent or whatnot and be like, "Cletus Dallas multi-pass." And
oh no,
amazing.
I love that.
I do have this gun. It's a Pez gun from the 70s.
Oh, wow.
So you put.
Oh, I thought it was a coconut cannon.
You just shoot it into your mouth, like
you put the Pez candy in there, and then you load it into the gun.
I don't know if I like that kind of imagery.
I love the reaction from
Right,
Heidi.
are you gonna demonstrate? Because that's
Heidi.
I
as
don't
a
have
new
any
mom
Pez right now.
You know her only thought is choking hazard.
Yeah.
I'm putting this in their mouth and choking.
No, actually, going along with what John was saying, I was thinking about getting a gun. Like me and my husband were like, oh, because I worked from home and he worked in the office. Like I was home alone a lot. So it's like, maybe it's a good idea that I have a gun. But actually, after having a baby, I'm kind of like, yeah, no, let's not have any guns in the house. It's just like having that change is kind of scary to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you said, it's unnecessary. At least I think so.
Phew. There was Bonnie, bruised but not battered. Bongo scooped her up and helped her stand. The hyenas did not obey our laws, Bonnie announced. If we want to protect ourselves, we must be ready to fight back. The animals nodded. They tore down the sign and bound up their bumps. Yeah,
And now Bonnie gets radicalized. Bonnie turns into a Rambo, and she's gonna go off into the wilderness and hide and wait like a gorilla. Gorilla spelled differently. Gorilla.
Yeah.
There's a gun attitude difference here. It's really cool that we have a decent representation across the planet right now, right? So Mark Reed being in Australia, myself and Trevor Canadian, John and Heidi being in America, where I'll let Mark tell us what the Australian attitude is about it. But in Canada, gun ownership is a privilege, not a right, right?
Yeah.
So in Canada, you can totally own guns, and even some of the more fun ones, like people would say. But there's limitation on magazine size. There's limitations on rate of fire, and we have different thresholds for different weapons, right? So if you want to own something that's really spectacular, there is an avenue for you to go to own that weapon. But the government reserves the right for snap inspections on the spot, like unannounced, to come to make sure that those guns are locked up and cared for and properly. What's the attitude in Australia like regarding gun ownership, Mark?
I'd say it's very similar to Canada. There's basically a you're not allowed to own certain types of guns. In fact, usually handguns are the ones that are actually more dangerous. But if you have, for instance, a profession, my brother is a police officer. He needs to have a gun because they carry guns, but he's a police officer. So I'm amazed that this hasn't gone into we need to defend ourselves against the tyranny of the chameleons that are taking control of the government. I'm amazed that they haven't gone into that. But if you're a farmer, you can have a weapon, and there's actually a fair few firearms in Australia. But what it allows, it's very strange. Like in America, there's sort of this thing of, well, I've got to have a gun because people will break in with guns kind of thing. But, criminals, the penalty is so high for having an illegal weapon. They generally just don't bother with them kind of thing. And we have other problems. It's not like, all crime just vanishes. Of course not. But when there is a violent event, like a mass event, somebody with a knife is not comparable to someone with even a semi-automatic rifle. Like there's just no comparison between the two.
Yeah, the amount of damage that one can do versus the other.
Exactly. Yeah, and at least some people can put up a fight. Whereas if it's a person with some kind of assault rifle, they won't be able to. There's just no way. So it's not that you eliminate these violent events. It's just that they're less severe than previously. So, but yeah, probably much the same as Canada. You need a license, you need to have the guns registered, which makes it so much easier to track who's got what. If it goes missing, they can then track it. It just, everything is a lot more chill because no one's worried about their kid going to school and being the victim of gun violence. Like I was pointing out in a debate recently, like, nobody over here has even considered buying a bulletproof backpack for their child.
Yeah.
A Kevlar backpack. It's gotten to that point, and I think at that point it's become so ridiculous that you've got to try something different, because the whole idea of add more guns and that'll solve the problem just isn't working. It's just not. Just to give you an idea, a semi-automatic handgun on the black market in Australia costs more than $15,000.
Wow.
Like, take a vacation.
Yeah.
Actually, it was. I was about to ask you: is there a thriving black market in Australia? Because that's what I constantly hear from conservatives here in the States. Is like, yeah, but I mean, if we enact stronger gun laws, the criminals are just going to be able to get the guns anyways. And it's like,
No.
Okay, how many? Like, I cannot tell you where to go to get black market weaponry like here in the States, and I just don't see like there being many vendors that are like passed by word of mouth, or like maybe they write on a bathroom stall or something like that. Like call Jim to get a semi. Like,
well, look, you can't eliminate like gun violence. You just can't. But if you can reduce it, isn't those lives worth it? Isn't that worth it?
Right.
Somebody with $15,000 to spend on a handgun has different priorities than somebody who, had a really bad day. And just happens
Wants
to
go
have
shoot up a church.
$300 to spend on a gun. So the next page here is, when the hyenas returned for lunch, they were dazed and confused. Every animal in Mushroom Village was armed with a weapon, and Bongo stood at their head. So lunch is served, Bongo growled. After a chabash and a few chabops, the hyenas bounded away, howling and whining, tummies grumbling and grumbly.
Grumbly.
Yeah, that was a hard couple pages to read, but go ahead, Mark.
I feel like you should do Bongo's like lines in a Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
Yeah.
Lunch is served.
That's literally who he is.
Yeah, basically.
Is he more Stallone with the headband though?
Yeah. But that sort of one-liner, like nice to meet you.
Nice to see you.
Like that is so army,
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It is interesting that they
go
seem to be like romanticizing the coconut cannons.
Yeah.
They're like making it this epic thing and this like, oh, we're so tough kind of thing. It's like what you'd see in an action movie, which those are not reality or accurate either. And so like bringing it into a propaganda book to teach kids about like the realities of gun control is kind of silly to me.
Mm-hmm.
And can I just point out the sort of rubbing salt in the wounds of shooting food at hungry people, like as a weapon? Like they're shooting strawberries at these poor hungry hyenas. I mean, yeah, they shouldn't be stealing their cupcakes, but you shouldn't also be wounding them with the exact thing that they want to feed themselves.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mark is totally just knocking on what I hinted to before, which is the unaddressed message that I get from this book. And they're just hungry.
Yeah.
They're literally advocating for attacking a group of hungry people.
Yeah.
When really the answer here isn't even getting rid of or regulating the coconut cannon so much as a dinner invitation needed to be drawn up.
Like, actually, there's enough for everybody. Sit down.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're lazy.
Yeah, they're lazy. I mean, all they have to do is come in and sit down, but they're lazy.
They don't deserve to eat.
Yeah, exactly. And also like so there's this big conversation right now in America about like who's more violent or whatnot, when it seems like even conservative children's books seem to glorify and romanticize like committing violence on your opposition. I don't understand how they can't see that, you know, that this kind of violence being not only taught to children at such a young age in this particular case, but also just it being normalized and romanticized in their right political spectrum sort of culture. I don't understand how that somehow means that the left is more violent in this particular case, because it seems like the right in this story right here, the conservatives, or the group that's supposed to represent the conservatives, radicalize the left in order to be more violent against people that are just hungry, like y'all are saying. It's just it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, they're promoting it as self-defense, right? But it's like it's an overcorrection of self-defense, which makes them not really a much better than the first, you know, violent side, I guess.
So, and this to me, it really does seem coded for like developed versus developing nation, right? You've got a whole bunch of people who don't have access to resources or are lazy, as they put it. You know, they live in a desert, so I'm not sure what access to cupcake making they have in the desert. Just saying, right? I don't know, but it almost seems like this will. They came to get our resources. We've got to gun them down. And it's a real worry, because the people that are they're just after a better life. That's all, you know. And you know, this whole sort of coding as, you know, I feel like they're trying to suggest Mexicans are lazy.
Yeah.
I bet that the coconut manufacturing industry is making a buttload out of these villages. I gotta say, I bet they are just racking in the dollars of these coconut cannons.
Yeah, for sure. I also find two things interesting here on this page before we move on. We only got a couple pages left here. The idea that the mushroom village side of this fight, no one got hurt, right? The reality is, in a gunfight, there's going to be injuries and casualties on both sides.
Yeah.
But you'll notice that the illustrator didn't arm the hyenas in this image, making it look a little bit even more kind of like we're just firing ammo into a crowd of unarmed, hungry people.
Yeah, it's a
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah.
They have no coconut cannons on them in this picture.
Yeah, at this point, it's just a coconut massacre. Let's face it.
With their whining, tummies, grumbling, and grumbly.
Yeah.
How dare they be poor? Their fault for being poor.
It's true.
And so that night, the picnic continued. Bongo and the other villagers sat around the rockin' rollin' river, eating delicious mushroom-shaped cupcakes with loads of purple and yellow and orange icing. They ate in peace because they knew Bongo would protect them with his coconut cannons. Bongo loved food, but most of all, Bongo loved his village. Go ahead,
I'm a little
Mark.
concerned about how they just sort of haphazardly have coconut cannons laying about like all over the place, and then of course they're having to enjoy their food while strapped with coconuts. And I don't know, I don't see how that would be like. Would somebody actually feel like safer or with less anxiety about being safe if you're having to like sit there with a weapon strapped to you and ammo for that weapon strapped to you all the time, like while you eat? Like, can you imagine sitting down to have like whatever dinner you're gonna have, and it's like, all right, I got my shotgun on my back and I got my bandolier full of my 410s, so you know, get now. Like, I just don't see anybody sitting down and like not having that stress and anxiety about the fact that you need to eat with a weapon.
Yeah.
Like, look, I mean, I'm just waiting for Bongo to be shot in the ass by Bonnie's like coconut cannon, which is lying next to her. You know, it's like you shouldn't point your coconut cannon unless you're prepared to ouchie somebody. Like, let's face it. Like,
the gun safety
Bonnie,
is
have
not
some
here.
trigger discipline.
So that's the book. Now I'm gonna ask, and I'll start with Mark. We'll go down the line. Mark, if you were going to title this book, what would you title it?
I would probably title it "In Defense of Freedom Island."
Okay, interesting. John, what would you call this book?
It would, I mean, so in a serious note, probably Bongo Saves the Day, but
Okay.
I could also see something like Bongo radicalizes anti-coconut people. I don't know, something along those lines.
Trevor, do you have a title that you would give this book?
Should we go with the Alt Coconut Pipeline?
Yes. Yes.
And Heidi, what would you title this book?
Oh God. I feel like I would personally, individually call it like the Massacre of Mushroom Village, but I feel like
good.
These people would, I don't know, call it, yeah, the Bongo's Adventures. Like I have no idea.
Okay, so
Mark,
here's a hint, everybody. The author of the book, her name is Dana Loesch. Does anybody know that author?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
She wrote a book, another book, a not children's book titled "Hands Off My Guns."
Is it "Hands Off My Coconut Cannons"?
It is called "Hands Off My Cannons."
Wow.
Sorry,
Wow.
it's called
Hands
"Paws
Off My
Off My
Cannon.
Cannons." Yeah.
Paws off my cannon.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like how it's brave books. You got to be brave in order to say this very pro coconut cannon message.
Mhm.
The
weird
rest
thing
of the
is that
book,
they-
by the way, is filled with games to like
Ugh.
reinforce and strengthen the so-called education
Like
gained from
learning
the book.
activities.
How many hungry people would you kill?
Is this a hungry person or an enemy?
One of the
Yes.
games, if I'm not mistaken, is actually like it has instructions on how to create a wadded piece of paper and use it to throw at people. And then you're supposed to do a
okay.
thing where like only one side has paper to throw and the other side doesn't, or something like that. Yeah.
But the weird
That's
thing is that they were never trying to take the other side's coconut cannons away. That's the thing. They were only doing it to theirs. So it should be "hands off my cupcake" or "paws off my cupcake."
Yeah.
Which sounds pretty dodgy, to be honest with you, now that I come to say it out loud.
Yeah, out of context, that's a terrible title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, it's
This is
basically
the
like-
terrible title.
It is. Because it's referring to like Bonnie and her group. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
Paws off my cannon. They're taking the hyenas as the enemy completely out of the title.
And as you can see, this is book 6 of the saga. The first saga is 6 books. I have no intention of buying these books new, but as long as I can find them secondhand or used, I'd like to explore more of these books. And so, real quick, I just want to thank my panel so very much for the time that you've given me here. So, once again, I'll give you guys all a moment to talk about your channels, where you're coming from, and yeah, let's start with Mark Reed.
Hi, I'm Mark Reed. I am a debater, and I do philosophy and science on YouTube. Yeah, that's about it, really. I have fun.
Yeah, I'll have all of your channels in the description, of course. So Mark Reed from the YouTube Mark Reed Atheism. John.
So I'm the Godless Engineer. I have social medias everywhere, so you just look up Godless Engineer, and it's probably me. I do a lot of conversations on the line and atheist experience, as well as on TikTok and stuff. And on my own channel, I primarily put up clips, but there are sometimes when I respond to videos. And you know, I also like to have fun.
I like to party.
I feel like you're just digging at me right now.
Nobody parties with me.
I'm going to assume the rest of you just hate fun. You know?
Trevor.
Yeah, I'm Trevor from Believe It or Not on YouTube and other social media, but mostly YouTube. And I talk about, I guess, healing from religious trauma and the harm caused by religion, and whatever else I feel like talking about. So.
Awesome. And Heidi.
Hi, I'm Heidi. Under Hail Heidi, basically anywhere, but mostly YouTube and Twitch actually. And I react to videos most of the time, like either as an American, like sometimes reacting as growing up only American, not really knowing much else, and also growing up ex-Mormon and not really knowing much else. And so I'm just trying to learn basically, and I like expand my knowledge. And so yeah, and I like to have fun too.
Oh yeah, I like to have fun.
She's playing the new
Trevor.
Silent Hill on Twitch as well, so make sure you check that
I
out.
so regret saying that now.
And well, I'm Justin. So if you're watching this, thank you so much for coming over, just checking it out. Once again, thank you so much to my panelists. Again, it's not lost on me the amount of support I get from you guys, just coming here and doing this little project with me. And if you guys want to see more of this reading from right to left, let me know. John already recommended a Ken Ham book, which I think I'm gonna go hunt down next, and maybe we'll check that out. So from myself and all of the panelists here, make sure you go and like and subscribe to my channel and this video, and go in the description, check out all of their channels, and subscribe as well. And make sure whatever you're doing, have fun doing it.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I promised you a sneak peek of the next episode of Reading from Right to Left. Here it is on This Just In.
Culture is explicitly now the enemy, not just an influence that might misguide you, but is actually the enemy. Yikes.
Books that show pornography, aka anything LGBTQ, are being removed from libraries in the US. But then you have this kind of book, and they're probably totally okay with having that in schools.
I'm interested in what right-wing group of fucking Nazi publishers published this.